I'm concerned about the preemptive pardons. I think it deserves a little bit more attention. And I want to share with you what preemptive pardons can do to America. If Joe Biden goes and preemptively pardons Liz Cheney and all these, Adam Schiff and Anthony Fauci, what that can actually do to us. I'm going to take my time here, so give me a minute and definitely leave a comment and like. Okay, here we go. So I literally went to ChatGPT because I wanted to know what will it do to us. And he's considered basically a lame duck president, a president that's like right about to be, go out of office. They're called a lame duck president. It's like the word for it. So that's where he's at. He's at the lame duck stage. And it's not like President Trump, who's going to pardon the J6 defendants, the hostages that were taken hostage by the Biden administration as a weaponization of the Justice Department and the two-tiered system of justice. No, he didn't do this on day one. The whole time, Biden said, I'm not going to pardon my son. I'm all about law and order. But then when it comes to the end where he's the lame duck guy, now he's starting to pardon people like his son, and not just pardon him, but pardon him since 2014. And that's really a lot of stuff that he could have done, and we don't even know. And it's just insane. So here's what could happen. Now, first of all, doing a preemptive pardon, it is constitutional. We did have a Supreme Court ruling in 1866. Oh my gosh. Allowing a president to pardon an offense before a formal charge was filed. This is a broad interpretation of the Article 2 of the Constitution. Whenever you have preemptive pardons, it can be an admission of guilt. Acceptance of a pardon can be interpreted as an admission of guilt. A case law in 1915. This creates a narrative that the pardoned individual might have engaged in wrongdoing. So it's just so tacky. A presidential pardon applies only to federal crimes. So if it's a state crime, the person cannot be pardoned for that. There's political implications. There's a perception of guilt if you accept a pardon, a preemptive pardon. There's an erosion of norms. It's going to erode society to have preemptive pardons. Why would anybody ever be held accountable for anything? You could just be preemptively. Why don't you just preemptively pardon the whole entire Democratic Party? Why don't you just preemptively pardon everyone who, was accused of this, that, or the other? It's just absolutely an erosion of norms. It has an impact on the incoming administration. The narrative of preventing revenge, like what they're saying, they're preventing revenge. Instead of taking accountability for their actions, they're saying they're preventing revenge. That's like a criminal saying, oh, I'm preventing revenge. Well, of course a criminal's going to say that. That's insane in the membrane. Ethical concerns. Undermines accountability. If you give a preemptive pardon, it is going to undermine accountability in the United States, which we've already had enough of that. That's why we have a mandate. That's why we elected Trump, is we want to make sure that people are held accountable, not given pardons for whatever they did, for the rest of, here, you can have a pardon for the rest of your life, no matter what you do. That's an eternal pardon. That is not fair. Meanwhile, just this morning, they arrested a grandma who just got LASIK surgery, and the FBI had to drive her to be arrested. This happened 4 years ago, and today they're arresting her. Meanwhile, people like Joe Biden are pardoning people like his son Hunter Biden for having boatloads of crack and doing God knows what else. It's just absolutely insane. Thank you for humoring me here. I know I'm going on, but I really have to share this with you. It also shows selective justice. Critics may argue that such pardons privilege the politically connected, while ordinary citizens are held to a different standard of justice. Not only ordinary citizens, but people like myself who just went to protest. I got treated like and J6, and yet Liz Cheney can just do whatever she wants to do, and she's going to be pardoned. No problem. Just get a pardon. Just a nice little sweep. It's just absolutely It is very, very, very concerning. Public reaction, historical context. Compared to past pardons, Richard Nixon was pardoned by Gerald Ford, and he was pardoned for, it was a preemptive for any crimes which may have been committed, highly controversial, and widely interpreted as an acknowledgement of Nixon's guilt. So if you have a pardon that's preemptive, it's an acknowledgement of your guilt. And so I want to know, what did Hunter do back in 2015? Why did he need a pardon? And who's next? Okay, there's also strategic considerations, shielding from federal prosecution. While a pardon could shield an individual from federal prosecution, it can also remove the Fifth Amendment protection against self-incrimination. So these people are going to have the Fifth Amendment removed. However, with these shenanigans, I'm like, what does it even matter? I mean, it's just so maddening. They could be compelled to testify about acts in future proceedings. But I don't know. What is Biden going to do? Is he going to just pardon them for the rest of their lives? Can you tell I'm mad? He's still in our thunder, y'all. Is he going to pardon himself? Potential for state prosecution. So these people can be prosecuted by the states, but what did they do? What did Fauci do? What did he do? And don't tell me that this is Trump's weaponization of the Justice Department. Not after what we have seen in the past 4 years. Not after grandmas have been arrested, thrown in prison for misdemeanors. Give me a break. That is a two-tiered system of justice. It is not right, and it needs to be resolved. Two-tiered system of injustice, and we need to have it resolved, and we need to get these people and hold them accountable. If they didn't do anything, then they shouldn't worry about it. Because guess what? If they didn't do anything, nobody wants them to be guilty. We hope, we wish they would stop harming people. So that's what I have to say. I don't think they should do a preemptive pardon. I think we should stop this. That's what I have to say. Have a great day. Let me know your thoughts.